on The Greatest Showman. Ooh, yes! Now, if you follow me on Instagram, you will know that I am pretty much obsessed with this movie since it came out. I can't stop raving about it. I have done a Freedom Friday, This Is Me for it, and I have done many stories about the time when I first went to see it, and then the time when I second went to see it, and of course times when I'm just lip-syncing to the songs because, you know, they are amazing. So, needless to say, I really enjoyed this movie and I give it a very high rating. But if you want to get more into the nitty-gritty, then stick around for this review because I'm going to get into my favorite characters, my favorite scenes, which was so hard to pin down, and my favorite songs, which was almost impossible to pin down. But I managed to do it, so yes, let's get into it. So just to do a brief non-spoilery recap. So just to do a non-spoilery recap of The Greatest Showman, it is loosely based on the true story of P.T. Barnum, who was the man who invented the circus. It is a beautiful rags to riches story where we follow P.T. Barnum from a young boy to when he gets older and achieves his dreams and gets all the riches he wants, but then of course it's the question of does he want those riches and what's to come of him now that he's in this other society that he's not accustomed to. But it begins when he's a little boy and his dad's a tailor and he's got like damaged shoes, and you know the imagery is just, you get such subtle cues of his, you know, wasted life, and then, you know, things just get bad from there, and then they go on and on and on to get better, but then is it better? Basically, P.T. Barnum has an incredible imagination. Of course, he invents the circus, but he goes and finds, you know, unusual people, freaks as they are, you know, deemed at that time, and he puts them out on stage and says, perform. Let your quirkiness be your power. Don't let people use it against you, use it for you. And so he gets them to all get on stage and just do amazing things that creates the circus.
Showtime.
Now, launching into my favorite characters, I think that so many characters in this movie were fantastic, and so many of them were relatable, and so many of them were fun, and you could connect to them, and I really liked everyone, and the actors were phenomenal. I'm so pleased with this movie. Two characters that I think did a fantastic job and that I just love and get just like all gooey when I think about them is of course P.T. Barnum, who was played by Hugh Jackman. So first of all, Hugh Jackman as P.T. Barnum was just fantastic. He has just this winning smile and this charismatic attitude, and you just can't help but to fall in love with him as this amazing, charming, creative, imaginative character that P.T. Barnum was. Yeah, and he's just such a charming, sweet character that, you know, just wants to make the world laugh and just wants to make people happy, and you're just like, I love you! My second favorite character was Letty Lutz, who's played by Keala Settle. So Letty Lutz, the character, is a woman with a beard. So people consider her a freak because she has a beard, and she goes on to be known as the Bearded Lady. And so Letty is recommended to P.T. Barnum because she has this incredible, phenomenal voice that, you know, just goes from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. What I liked about her character is that she's also a little bit cheeky, she has some funny moments, and she's definitely a very strong character who overcomes a lot in her life and a lot of ridicule in her life, and she fights. I just love that scene when she charges in and she goes in, she's like, ah, you know, like ready to kick some ass. And I think she's just a wonderful, brave character.
Showtime.
I somehow managed to pick my 4 favorite scenes. This took a really long time, and I had to go through the movie in my head, but yes, I believe I have narrowed it down to my top 4 favorite scenes, which of course are musical scenes. However, they're not all my favorite songs in the movie as a whole, but they were my favorite scenes. My first favorite scene takes place during A Million Dreams, which is quite close to the beginning of the movie, which is when we see P.T. Barnum grow up into an adult and marry the girl of his dreams, and just, you know, what happens throughout his life. You know, when he's chased for stealing a bit of bread, and when he's, you know, really treated badly, to how he goes on to get a job, and then, you know, marries the girl of his dreams, and things are amazing, and it's great for a time. So I love that scene. I love how it showed the progression of his life in such a beautiful way, and with such a great song. During that scene, I cried, I laughed, I was happy, I was sad, I was moved so much. I love when they're dancing on the roof. It's just great. It's just great. I just love it. Another favorite scene of mine, which I think is just so brilliant and typically musical, it just gave me that good old-fashioned musical vibe is, of course, the bar scene with Zac Efron and Hugh Jackman, where they're sliding the shot glasses to each other and they're talking about working together. And again, I love how they kind of talk-sing sometimes, you know, okay, my friend, you wanna cut me in? And then they go on to do their negotiations, and it's how he kind of like reels him in at first, like, oh, you wanna do this, you wanna do this, and the barman's like, should I give him another shot, should I not? And he like taps the bar like, yeah, now we've got to get another shot. And I love the whole production of that scene. I love the repartee between them, and I love when they end up in the circus together and they're going up the stairs and everything's amazing, and they meet the girl and they jump aside, and then of course they go out and Zendaya's on the tightrope and she flies up, and it ends when he just can't think anymore because he's fallen in love. My third favorite scene gave me such huge goosebumps. It wasn't the only song to do that, but it was the only scene to do that because it was just so enthralling and captivating, and that is the scene with Never Enough. So we meet Jenny Lind, played by Rebecca Ferguson, and it's the first time that P.T. Barnum is going to hear her sing in front of this whole huge audience, and he's like, I hope she can sing, and we're all like, okay, I hope she can sing, we didn't hear her. And so everything is quiet in this huge auditorium, and then she starts to sing, and her voice is stunning, and the song is incredible, and whoosh, just goosebumps, like everything else faded away and I had like tunnel vision. Just me and her, man, just me and Jenny Lind. And then in that same beautiful, amazing scene, there are these little subtleties interwoven from the story. So you see Zendaya and Zac Efron's characters holding hands, and then of course the people turn to look at him and he pulls away from her, and you're just like, what? And then she leaves and you're like, no, but the song, but the song, but the song, but the song. My fourth and final favorite scene is probably because of its uniqueness. Like, to me, it was just so unique. Maybe it's been done before, but not in any musical I've seen. And the song, again, is fantastic. And that is, of course, another scene with Zac Efron and Zendaya. It is Rewrite the Stars, where they have this amazing trapeze artist dance routine thing, and where she's coming down, and like he's falling, and then she's going up into the sky, and she's racing around him. And I love when she's racing around him and it's slow motion, and when he goes up and like jumps onto the trapeze and goes down with her, and when they're spinning around and around. I honestly just found it so creative and so fantastic and really just so unique.
Showtime.
This was probably the hardest thing to do for this entire review, but I did manage to narrow it down to my top 3 favorite songs in The Greatest Showman. 2 of them are from my favorite scenes, and 1 of them is not from a favorite scene, but it is definitely my favorite song, or one of my favorite songs. So the ones taken from the scenes is, of course, Never Enough. As I said, it gave me the goosebumps. Enough said, it is just fantastic. The second one is A Million Dreams. I love the message in that song. I love how it's like a million dreams are keeping me awake, a million dreams for the world we're gonna make, and it's just so positive, and it's just like dream your life into fruition, and it's just so great. I really love the message in that song. And then the third and final song is, of course, This Is Me, which is just brilliant. Again, the message for that is just so empowering. It just makes you want to stand up and be like, yes, this is me, and you just want to embrace all of you and just like, yeah, I got flaws, whatever, here they are, take them in, what you gonna do about it, what you gonna do about it, And she just says, yes, I'm scarred, yes, I'm bruised, but I'm just gonna stand up and own who I am and claim who I am. No one's gonna stop me, and I'll come out the other side and I'm gonna show the world this is me. It's just such another just wonderful message. This whole movie is just a wonderful message of accepting your flaws and just being who you are and living your life and enjoying your life, because really at the end of the day, what else is the friggin' point? Okay, you want to be miserable and grumpy and focus on how everything is wrong in your life? Where does that get you? Nowhere. At least if you're enjoying yourself, even if it still gets you nowhere, at least you're having a good time, right? So yes, needless to say, I absolutely loved The Greatest Showman. As soon as it comes out, I am going to buy it and watch it, probably on repeat for the first few days. I did the same thing with Sound of Music. I did the same thing with Hercules. I did the same thing with a lot of movies that I like the songs. So I'm definitely going to be doing it with The Greatest Showman. So anyways, what did you think of The Greatest Showman? Did you have a favorite character? Do you have favorite songs? Did you have favorite scenes? Did you not like it? Why didn't you like it? But yes, please let me know below what your thoughts are on The Greatest Showman. Thank you again for watching, and until next time, I'll see you. Bye!